One of the great things to look forward to in Star Wars Episode 9 are, of course, the various cameos that will be making their appearances in this movie by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I really want to focus in on the character of Rey. Now, this character is very mysterious. We do know that J.J. Abrams is changing a lot of elements of the character and will be giving her a very important lineage in this movie, and she will be going through various tests in Star Wars Episode 9 to develop as a character from start to finish of this film. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with the connection between both Anakin Skywalker and Rey as a character. Specifically, a description of Rey inside of the ruins of a lost city underneath the surface of a mysterious planet. It's described that a figure is guiding Rey throughout the ruins in a black cloak. It's described that the figure is Anakin's hybrid Force ghost that eventually leads her to a vault full of Jedi and Sith relics before the Anakin figure vanishes. It's described that Rey has some kind of temporary connection with the Anakin figure. The next goes over Rey tinkering with her lightsaber hilt, which belonged to Anakin, as it's described that she begins to hear the screams of Anakin burning on Mustafar. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that really do connect to some of the past things that we heard for Episode 9. Now, number one, the Lost City. Now, this is something that we have been talking about now for about 2 months or so. The Lost City is a very interesting world that J.J. Abrams is trying to implement into Episode 9. It was also one of the original ideas that were in place for The Force Awakens that never made it to the final cut of the movie. So you can see how J.J. is really transferring all these different ideas and putting them over into Episode 9, which honestly, I think is great. So, with Episode 9, Rey having a connection to the character of Anakin Skywalker, does this necessarily mean that she's connected to the Skywalker bloodline or related to the Skywalkers? I don't think it's necessarily that. I think that there's some kind of connection between both Rey, Luke, and the Anakin hybrid Force ghost here. And I know that a lot of people out there have problems with the hybrid Force ghost concept that J.J. Abrams wanted to actually have in Episode 7 and is indeed now planning on putting that in Episode 9. Now, to me, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it's a great idea to have a hybrid Force ghost version of Anakin Skywalker bouncing back between, between both Anakin and Vader. I think it's just a very interesting concept. So this lost city that Anakin is leading, pretty much guiding Rey through the ruins of the lost city that eventually lead her to the pretty much remnants of the Jedi lore and Sith lore, really does raise a big question right now. Why is Rey on this mission, and why is she looking for both Jedi and Sith lore? Now, it could be to create a new Jedi Order and to understand the Sith and the whole entire philosophy of the Sith. This way, another mistake can never be made again, like what happened during the prequel trilogy, and of course what happened through Kylo Ren / Ben Solo being seduced by the dark side by Supreme Leader Snoke. So this also falls directly in line with how J.J. Abrams will be implementing a lot of Jedi and Sith lore into Star Wars Episode 9, which honestly I think is a great idea. It's probably the best thing that you can do in a movie like this. Something that was promised in the marketing of The Last Jedi that wasn't really a thing in the final cut of Episode 8. Now, the next thing that I do want to go over is when Rey is tinkering with her lightsaber. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Disney just recently officially titled the lightsaber as Rey's over Anakin's. So it is now officially Rey's lightsaber in the Star Wars universe. It is no longer Luke and or Anakin's lightsaber, which a lot of people are having problems with that, and I can totally understand that. However, when she tinkers with her lightsaber, most likely repairing it or kind of doing some tune-ups, whatever she's doing, right? She begins to hear the screams of Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar burning alive. So again, we do know that Anakin Skywalker has the connection to the actual lightsaber itself, which could also be a reason as to why she's seeing the figure of Anakin's hybrid Force ghost. Because if you think about it this way, the last time Anakin ever held that lightsaber was on Mustafar when he was pretty much on the verge of becoming Darth Vader fully, but he was still somewhat of an Anakin Skywalker character. There were still elements of that character in embedded in there. So we can see how there is a connection between the Skywalker saber and Rey, and how that may very well be offering visions or the Force Ghost of the Anakin Skywalker hybrid Force Ghost sequence that actually guides Rey to this vault full of Jedi and Sith relics. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think that J.J. Abrams is really trying to dig deep into the mythology here in order to create something completely unique that's really going to resonate with fans, and that'll also open a whole nother different idea of Star Wars as a whole, as far as lore goes, and as far as, you know, what initiates what, right? Because that's the biggest question of all. Why did Rey get called to the Skywalker lightsaber? That's going to be answered in this movie, thankfully. All those burning questions in Episode 7 will be answered in Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.